What's up guys, Huntress Heroic here. So today I'm going to start a new series, and it's going to be a series on poetry because I've gotten super involved in poetry lately, and it really speaks to me, and it's my newest thing, so just go with it. We're going to start with a poem that means a lot to me because I learned about it in school from my English teacher, who was like my favorite person in the whole world. Like, she taught me to appreciate poetry, she taught me to understand like the context and everything that goes into a good poem, one that really speaks from the heart. So we're going to start with a personal favorite by George Gordon, Lord Byron. If you're into like the poetry scene or whatever, you probably know who that is. But this poem is called She Walks in Beauty. And I'm going to start by reading it, and then I'm going to go through stanza by stanza and explain sort of what things mean. So, she walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that's best of dark and bright meets in her aspect and her eyes. Thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress and softly lightens o'er her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their resting place. And on that cheek and o'er that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, yet tell of days and goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent. So the first two lines of the first stanza, she walks in beauty like the night of cloudless climes and starry skies. So a climb, we'll start with that. So this is kind of an old word. A lot of people don't necessarily know what it means. Climb is like it's sort of like a climate. It's an area that's a certain way. So cloudless climes would be places where there aren't a lot of clouds in the sky. So you can see the stars, and you can see, so he's saying that she is as beautiful as the endless the endless starry sky with no clouds obscuring the view. So just perfect, beautiful stars. And this was before all that light pollution and stuff where you couldn't see the stars in most parts of the world anyway. So then the last two lines of the first stanza, thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies, is talking about the sun, right? So gaudy meaning like overdone and extra and over the top, right? So the sun, which is super bright and like just, illuminates everything underneath it, and you can kind of see everything for like the way it is. It's saying that she's more accustomed to the tender light of nighttime, which is more sort of gentle and mellow and serene and calm, right? Like starlight, as opposed to sunlight. One shade the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace which waves in every raven tress. He's talking about her hair, right? So he says if her hair was one shade lighter or one ray darker, then it would almost take away from how beautiful she is in her perfection, the way that she is. Like, her hair is this perfect shade of midnight black that, like, if it was any different, it wouldn't be perfect. But because it's exactly the way that she is, it's perfect. It says, so starting in the middle of a line then, her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their dwelling place. Just by looking at her face, so contextually we assume that Lord Byron has seen this woman across the room, right? Because so far he's only described her physical characteristics. So he sees her, and he just sees her face, and he can tell by just looking at her how innocent and clear her thoughts are. It says, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear their resting place. So just by looking at her face, he sees how sweet and calm and peaceful and cheerful and happy she is, and how kind she is to everyone around her. The smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days and goodness spent. This is still talking about her face, but now he's talking about her expressions, right? So her big, beautiful smiles and her little, like, glowers, like when she gets mad. He can tell just by looking at that she's lived a good, clean life. Like, tell of days and goodness spent. So all of her days have been spent doing good things. A mind at peace with all below, a heart whose love is innocent, is also talking about her face still, but he says that he's come to this conclusion from these observations of her that she's just at peace with everyone below her station, and she loves everyone, and she's lived a good life. Her love is innocent in her heart. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. As always, I'll be back in a little while with the next video. I'll never know when that's going to be because I'm terrible at scheduling, but if you like this video, leave a like and let me know what you think in the comments below. If you want to see more from this series, if you don't, I'm going to be probably updating as often as I can. And that's all I have for today. Thank you so much.